Basi wanaokuja hivi sasa mbele ya Mheshimiwa Rais si wengine ni waliofanya vyema katika taaluma mbalimbali ili wapate kuzawadiwa. Wazawadi vijana hao waliofanya vyema. James. The best recruit representing PWDs. Service number 229115, Amina Mohammed. Amina Mohammed ni kati ya wenzetu walio na ulemavu wa kusikia na ndiye amefanya bora zaidi akiwakilisha wale wenzake. Huwa huzungumza kwa ishara. Hiyo ni ishara ya kumshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais. Asante sana. The best recruit in drills, men. Service number 22 79 56 75 Mary Wanjiro. The best recruit in academics, men. Service number 226716, Owen Juma. The best recruit in academics, women. Service number 234953, Eunice Nganga. The best recruit in sports men. Service number 226734, Harrison Leseikar. The best recruit in sports women. Service number 230019, Emily Kemunto. Officer representing the best company men. Personal number 2010-02-0094, Senior Sergeant Edwin Marindani. Officer representing the best company women. Personal number 200-703-382, Inspector Cecily Njiru. Officer representing the best brigade, Tausi. Personal number 200-703-3258, Chief Inspector Shakila Abdallah. Basi baada ya kutunukiwa zawadi waliofanya bora zaidi, hivi sasa ni wakati wa mkuu wa gwaride hili Superintendent Hesbon Kuria, ambaye ndo hubuni gwaride zote za vijana kwa huduma kwa taifa, kupata nafasi yake ili apate kuendelea na gwaride lake. Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba tukae tafadhali. Basi kwa maridadi kabisa, gwaride limeng'oa nanga kwa mwendo wa kinyonga. Basi kwa maridadi kabisa, contingent ya kwanza ambayo itapita mbele ya Mheshimiwa Rais imeondoka. Mheshimiwa Rais, watakaopita mbele yako ni hawa wanatoka katikati mwa uwanja. Basi Mheshimiwa Rais, vikundi 6 vikiwa vimeondoka, kuna vikundi vingine vitaungana nao akisha kupita mbele yako Mheshimiwa Rais. So naomba tafadhali tuangalie watatokea sehemu gani ya uwanja huu. Basi kwa maradi kikundi cha kwanza akipita mbele ya Mheshimiwa Rais kiongozwa naye Superintendent Hezbon Kuria akisaidiwa na Chief Inspector Pamela Azimio, Platoon Commander akiwa Inspector Benson Biwot. Platoon Senior Sergeant akiwa Rebecca Opio. Maridadi kabisa kikipita kikundi cha 6 kiliyochangulia kutoka. Vinavyofyata ni vile vikundi vinaungana na wenzao hapo baadaye. maridadi kabisa. Gwaride limebadilika kutoka mwendo wa kinyonga hadi mwendo wa kasi. Basi kwa maridadi kikundi cha kwanza akipita mbele ya Mheshimiwa Rais kiongozwa naye Superintendent Hezbon Kuria akisaidiwa na Chief Inspector Pamela Azimio, Platoon Commander akiwa Inspector Benson Biwot. Platoon Senior Sergeant akiwa Rebecca Opio. maridadi kabisa, kikipita kikundi cha 6 kiliyochangulia kutoka. Vinavyopyata ni vile vikundi viliungana na wenzao hapo baadaye.
the Kenya Seed Company has come here with a check of 13.5 million shillings to pay these young people for our spread. Just an example of one and many more things that we are going to do to make the service in building of the dams, and especially in mitigation at this time when we are grappling with the effects of El Nino. The National Youth Service and the State Department for ASAL, alongside our other discipline forces within the National Police Forces and the Kenya Defense Force, are right in the forefront of ensuring we have got mitigation up to 1.3 million trees. And our ambition is that before the end of this financial year, we are going to plant 200 million trees across the country as we try to also mitigate the effects of the climate change. And again, we are not just doing this as an act of charity. Working with international climate organizations, during the ongoing COP28, we managed to get partnership from the Global Center for Adaptation, from the Africa Finance Corporation, who have agreed to make the National Youth Service a center of excellence in matters of climate adaptation, climate mitigation and resilience, and more importantly, in monetizing the trees that we plant and all the other interventions we make in offsetting carbon credits from those people who are polluting our environment. Your Excellency, the Kenya School of Government, which is also within our ministry, is going to build a new campus in Vihiga to the tune of 800 million shillings, a project that will be undertaken exclusively by the National Youth Service so that we can continue to employ even more young people. And because we are expecting the Kenya School of Government to have a very huge demand, because we are introducing mandatory training for all public servants in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. So to be able to expand our capacity, we have called upon the National Youth Service to come and help us in this agenda. Huduma Kenya is another state body that we want to cite against within our ministry. And working with our members of parliament, and I have here today the chairman of the parliamentary committee on the National CDF, Honorable Musa Silma, and the chair of the National CDF board, Honorable Olago Aluoj, who have, in a very remarkable development, in partnership with the Ministry of ICT, where we have merged the concept of the Jitume Center for the digital jobs for our people with our Huduma centers to offer Huduma services in every constituency, funded by the national government CDF, and with the labor being provided exclusively by the National Youth Service, so that we can be able to expand the job opportunities for our youth. Your Excellency, State Department for Housing has been very exemplary in this endeavor. All the early works within our affordable housing agenda and within all our markets have been done by the National Youth Service, starting from Eldoret Market, which we are going to start deploying on Monday. And finally, Your Excellency, the National Employment Authority is partnering with the National Youth Service to provide jobs for these young people to go out there and get jobs abroad. As we speak, we've just deployed for the first batch of 40 service and men and women who are going to the UK for readily available jobs in the UK. And we have agreed with the State Department for Labor that we are going to have 50% of everybody going to work out there coming from the job provider number one, which is the National Youth Service. Your Excellency, it can only get better. And we look forward to working with all state departments to ensure that the first provider of labor of choice is the National Youth Service. To achieve this, Your Excellency, as I conclude, we have to do two things. One is just to keep the focus. We intend to keep the focus. Nothing is easy. In the beginning, the plan which your government is rolling out might appear painful as unpalatable to some. And in fact, we might get complaints here and there. I want to encourage you to follow the footsteps of my namesake, Moses of the Bible. When the children of Israel left Egypt and they went into the wilderness, they were crying. And some were even saying, afadhali uturudisha kwa Farao. Na Farao hata alikuwa anawachekelea, anawaambia niliwaambia mtajuta, afadhali mrudi huku. Lakini walipofika huko Canaan, hata hakuna mtu alikumbuka ile mashida tulikuwa nayo kwa njia. So we are going to keep the focus, because once we cross to the other side, even those people who are making noise today, like the children of Israel, they will not remember the problems that they had in the wilderness. We also intend to be innovative. We have to look for different ways to do things for us to change this country. We cannot do things the same way it has been done and expecting different results. Even the person who invented the car, in the beginning, people are resisting, and they say they don't want a car. They want faster horses. But in the end, today you cannot imagine life without the car. So we'll keep the focus. We'll try in different ways. We'll try to be innovative, and we'll move and transform and change this country, because that is what the people and God expect of us. And now, Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity to invite the governor of the county of Nakuru, who is our host. Your Excellency, you are sitting in a very interesting ward, the ward where we're sitting today. Last year, on the 9th of August, they went to the ballot to elect 6 people. Out of all those 6 people, you are the only man they elected. The MCA is a woman, the MP is a woman, the senator is a woman, the women rep obviously is a woman, and the governor is a woman. So if there might be some constitutional issue around that, which I have told Susan we have to look at it, even as we look at the issue of the 2-thirds rule, and you are privileged to represent all of us endangered men species in that endeavor. Madam Governor, welcome.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, also the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Honorable Moses Kuria, the Cabinet Secretary, Public Service Performance and Delivery Management, Principal Secretaries present. We have, Your Excellency, let me recognize the presence of our area MP, Madam Speaker, Mheshimiwa Wangare. Let me also recognize the presence of Honorable Musa Sirma, who is from our neighboring county here and from Eldama Ravine. Recognize the presence of Honorable Alice Nganga, MP Thika. The presence of Honorable Hilary Kosgei, MP Kipkelion West. The presence of our Deputy Speaker of the Senate, the Senator of Meru, Mheshimiwa Kathuri Murongi, and the presence, Your Excellency, of our area MCA, Mheshimiwa Rose. And Mheshimiwa Kuria, sisi ndio tuko, wa mama. Your Excellency, also, let me recognize, or rather, the James Temboro, Acting Director General, National Youth Service, Lieutenant General Retired, Mwaniki, the Chairman of the National Youth Service Council, Lois Koech, the Commandant of the NYS Paramilitary Academy, and all the ladies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the graduates this morning. Your Excellency, it is my privilege and distinct honor to welcome you to Nakuru County this morning at the pass-out parade of the National Youth Service recruits here at the NYS Paramilitary Academy in Gilgil, Nakuru County. From the onset, Your Excellency, I want to appreciate the very cordial and complimentary manner by which the national government has worked hand in hand with county governments in the discharge of services to the public under their respective mandates as provided for in the Constitution. I want to assure you that we as Nakuru County are committed to working closely with your government as we seek to grow our county. Your Excellency, Nakuru County is proud to be the home of the National Youth Service, a critical institution charged with the duty of empowering young people with knowledge, skills, experience, and values that prepare them to exploit their potential, earn a decent livelihood, and apply enterprise for the betterment of Kenya. I hold the conviction that the training recruits undergo for the 6 months that they're here in this school not only prepares them for the highly competitive job market, but it also equips them with technical know-how to survive and thrive in the job market. I note with great level of appreciation, Your Excellency, that the NYS Paramilitary Academy is famed for training recruits in high-level practical vocational skills that are on demand during the implementation of national development projects, especially those aligned to the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, better, such as affordable housing. Indeed, whereas these projects require adequate training and adequately trained labor force, Your Excellency, the truth is that the majority of our counties, Nakuru included, exist inadequate labor in the market for these very technical skills due to lack of relevant certification. So in the wake of this inadequacy, the county government of Nakuru is working with the State Department of Housing and Vocational Training and agencies such as International Labour Organization, National Industrial Training Authority, and National Construction Authority to train our labor force for certification purposes. More than 3,000 artisans are currently undergoing training in order to benefit from the affordable housing program. This is an area that my government will readily collaborate with the NYS Paramilitary Academy to train our artisans. A program that twins our vocational training centers with the NYS Paramilitary Academy to not only train but prepare a curriculum that currently meets the needs of job markets that are highly recommended by our government, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Nakuru has witnessed the high skills of NYS teams, especially during emergencies in areas outlying this college. More often than not, NYS has helped us with fire engine and water bowsers to handle emergencies here in Gilgil and Naivasha. While we are humbled by this timely assistance at our hour of need, we would like to extend this collaboration to cover our key programs such as drilling of boreholes, drainages along our roads, opening up of feeder roads, graveling of roads, desilting our dams, and these basic programs are the roadblocks of our growth, and we are ready to work with the NYS. To the recruits who are passing out today, the NYS is one of the very great training grounds of our government, and we are very thankful for empowering the youth here today. So congratulations to all of you who are graduating today, and we now welcome you to join us in building our nation, the great nation of Kenya. Asanteni. Thank you very much. It is now my singular honor, singular duty to invite the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. Karibu, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Asante sana, Mheshimiwa. Tafadhali tuketi chini wale mko na viti. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Gavana wetu wa Nakuru, Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria, Waziri husika, Principal Secretaries present, the leadership of National Youth Service, wazazi wote waliotembea katika sherehe hii ya muhimu, na graduates, distinguished guests. Kwanza mimi nataka nipongeze wasimamizi wa NYS, mwenyekiti, Director General na kamati yote na wale officers wote walioshiriki katika mafunzo ya hawa vijana wetu wa Kenya. And I am glad to be here as we celebrate the achievements of our youth in their preparation to serve their nation and mark another important milestone for the National Youth Service community who have made this event possible. An event like this is particularly important because its role in reminding us of the substantial reasons we have as a people of Kenya to be hopeful about the future despite the challenges we face. Old and familiar threats of war, conflict, insecurity, underdevelopment, famine, disease, and crime have been joined and intensified by terrorism, transnational organized crime, pandemics, and climate change. Consequently, states around the world are combating these threats to a great extent, with an increasing number struggling at enormous cost on livelihoods and economic development. Under these conditions, high rates of population growth have not only increased the number of citizens overall, many national populations of developing countries grow younger by the decade. Our continent now has the world's youngest population with a median age of 19, and 25 countries with the youngest median age are in Africa. What this means is that the youth are no longer just an indispensable component of society. They define the basic character of our nations and determine the direction and speed of our journey into the future. Depending on the effectiveness of the measures taken to prepare for the present and future, young people are likely to inherit the problems that bedeviled older generations and struggle under their worsening impact. This is the essence of the two contrary perspectives of Africa's youth phenomenon. On one hand, there are opinions which see in the population explosion the threat of serious instability on account of having too many young people who are unemployed and vulnerable to various socioeconomic, health, security, and climatic shocks. To this school of thought, the young people represent a ticking time bomb, which will explode sooner or later into a myriad of acute socioeconomic and political problems. On the other hand, there are perspectives which see in the youth a stronger capacity for effective harnessing globalization, innovation, and leadership in newer, more positive directions. Contrary to the youth bomb perspective, this standpoint perceives the runaway budding of our population as a singular opportunity to harness a demographic dividend by utilizing the youth as an agent of harmony and stability, frontline actors in combating various threats, drivers of greater productivity and intensified competitiveness. Both perspectives are right. If we carry on with business as usual and neglect the imperative of taking extraordinary measures to transform our economies in order to give millions of young people a better chance to build stronger nations, we will definitely have a serious crisis in our hands. The difference between the two scenarios depends on how intentional, how ambitious, urgent, and futuristic the development agenda is. It is clearly evident that for a few decades now, Kenya has been firmly and emphatically committed in investing significantly in a future that will exploit the demographic dividend to drive national development agenda. This is for a while now. Primary education has been free of charge, with huge subsidies in secondary education and even university education under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda will not implement itself. On the contrary, our best chance of actualizing the Kenya we want in social, economic, political, and even cultural terms is by wasting no opportunity in equipping our young people with the skills and capabilities that are not only competitive and relevant in the current global market, but also firmly aligned with the imperatives of the radical transformation of our economy. Our review of the CBC, increase of teachers, infrastructural expansion of learning facilities, development of technical and vocational education and training institutions throughout Kenya represent one side of the positive interventions aimed at securing the greatest share of youth dividend to power national growth. The other component of these measures are strategic interventions set out in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda in order to significantly enhance the productivity of labor across 5 priority sectors, create millions of jobs for young people over the next 10 years, provide necessary infrastructure and support for them to engage in innovation and creation, as well as other forms of employment in the digital economy. The National Youth Service is not just a witness and a participant of our bold intention to enlist the youth as the leaders and drivers of Kenya's transformation. It is an example of a dedicated program for empowering our youth for a lifetime of service across all sectors. This organization has re-emerged to become a highly trusted incubator of disciplined, self-motivated, skilled, productive youth who continue to make significant contribution to the success of various entities in both public and private sectors. I think the examples given by Minister Kuria in the collaboration with various state departments speak volumes of the capacity and the potential of NYS to power the transformation of our country. Thanks to the dynamism of the National Youth Service, the graduates of this institution are much admired, effective workers in every field, from agriculture to national security and administration, as well as building and construction, research, development, and innovation. Because of the rationalization of learning pathways in tertiary education, a number are also finding themselves on their way to careers in highly competitive domains. Recognizing the place of youth in national transformation in general, and that of NYS in powering the plan in particular, we have embarked on a strategic re-engineering of the National Youth Service to enhance the capacity of the institution to take up greater numbers of trainees, position it on the path of financial sustainability through revenue generation, thereby creating the conditions to support the expansion of enrollment to 100,000 young people annually in the next 5 years. Let me repeat that this year, we are graduating 10,000 young people from this field. Next year, in the first cohort, it will be 15,000. In the next cohort, it will be 15,000. So next year alone, 30,000 young people from across Kenya will graduate from NYS as we position NYS as the incubator for all other arms of government. And let me report here that when I was here last year, I did commit that we were going to include the National Youth Service in the review of salaries and working conditions of both the police, the prisons, and I committed that we are going to include the NYS, and we did. Let me confirm that as the report was presented to me and to government, National Youth Service, beginning the next financial year, for 3 years, their salaries will be increased by 40% going into the future. Let me also confirm that I have approved the modernization and the re-engineering of National Youth Service so that in February next year, we will have an additional 200 cadets that will be trained to enhance the capacity of National Youth Service to train more servicemen and women as we use NYS to grow the pool of young people that are job ready, that are ready to take up responsibilities in different sectors. Additionally, another 500 servicemen will be trained to join staff of the National Youth Service, again in the effort to ensure that National Youth Service has the men, has the women to assist NYS train more young people. Vile